Prophecy means an oral admittance or a prediction of the future that comes from spirit. That something in us has the ability to look beyond what is happening presently and predict what could happen beyond this that we now experience. Scripture says, we walk not by sight, but by faith. Faith is the quality within each and every one of us that allows us to predict what will happen next. It can be used blindly, which means if we don't really know it, sometimes things happen and we say, wow. But when we understand that as spiritual beings, one of the most prominent gifts we have is that of predicting the future. Let me give you an example. I got up one morning and I decided I was going to drive to Thunder Bay because I had never been there before. I don't know what Thunder Bay looks like, but Spirit says, just go on the journey and you will experience something wonderful. And I went. And I did experience something wonderful. You see, faith could work two ways. Brings you joy and brings you sadness. For whatever you predict, you will experience. That's the power of faith. Faith says, I could see beyond the mountain, and I know what's behind the mountain is what I will experience next. If your mind is set up to experience the best in every moment, through faith, you will experience good in your life. But when faith operates out of fear, when we see things, we predict more disaster instead of riding above the disaster, we become taken by it. Now, the gift of prophecy is for yourself. It is not for anybody else. You have the power to determine how your life will work out. Because after you see this picture, you've got to make choices that would lead you there. So although we walk by faith, we don't always continue to walk along the journey that we see that is possible for us. We bring about the prediction after seeing it in our minds by following a path that leads to it, by establishing a single mind or a single purpose to get to that place that we alone can see. That's the power of the mind. The mind can see beyond appearances, and if you work with making the right decisions, the mind will get you there. Because we are mental beings, meaning spiritual beings, and everything that we do in and out of our minds. If you don't see it, you cannot have it. If you don't speak the word based on what you have seen, you will not motivate yourself to go beyond the circumstance. Have you ever experienced in your life having this wonderful picture of the future, a good job, a good family, a good body, good whatever it is, and you never achieve any of those things? And then we start to blame circumstances. circumstances take a big rap for us not walking the path that leads to where we want to be. Because sometimes, most of us like to travel not even second class, but third class. We like to just accept what is there, instead of moving our minds beyond where we are. You can't do the same thing and expect a different result. You've got to do different things by thinking different things and walking in a different path. You can't walk down Young Street and expect to experience Avenue Road. You've got to be consistent. And faith requires us that we see and practice what we see, daily walking in the path that would lead us to where our minds want to be. You see, sometimes we have conditioned our minds so much to put down everything that we see in it. So sometimes the mind could have this power to create fantastic journeys. But what we do is we say, I can't afford it, and I'm not going to go until, and if I go, what will they say about my leaving them? Whatever the mind asks to do in a positive light, we should do if we want our dreams to be fulfilled. How can prophecy happen to us? Prophecy normally happens to us when we are not in a good situation. You see, when you're happy and you're living, you don't have time for your mind to speak to you. You're enjoying life. But sometimes when we enter the valley of dead bones, where there appear to be no hope, hello now, it's like going to the kitchen in the morning to go to work, and there is nothing in the cupboard to plan a lunch and a dinner. Hello now. That's when you use faith. That's when the mind kicks in and says to you, I see lunch at 360 degrees. That's top of the CM tower. I see dinner. Hello now. At Le Petit, Le Déjeuner. And you know what happens? Sooner or later, the mind begins to create how to get there. See, the mind is creative. And all it takes is a picture of where you want to be to start working to get you there to fulfill that internal code. If you have no vision, you have no future. If you don't see where you're going, you will stay where you are. If you have no plans for tomorrow, today will show up tomorrow. And then you will blame the system and blame everybody else, instead of saying, although I see it, I'm afraid to move. You see, fear is man's greatest enemy. And most of us live in fear. Because all of us have visions and all of us have dreams. For even your old men shall continue to dream. Because once you have the spirit of life working in you, you will always have thoughts in your mind for a better tomorrow. If you don't have that, you are in the valley of bones, dry bones, and you believe you will never get out. See, we are the ones who get stuck and stay stuck all by ourselves. And we are the only ones to free us from the valley of dry bones. Stop waiting on someone else to come to help you. Faith is the forerunner of all prophecy. You must have faith. You have to live by hope. If you hope for nothing, you will have nothing. When you have faith that says, I can do all things through Christ in me, that means that creative power in me will find a way forward for me. See, most of us are living to go to a place after death called heaven. And Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is already in the midst of you. That means it is not a place to come. It's not a place that you say low here or low there. It's right here, right now. So my faith tells me that right here, right now, I can live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. And then my mind will find a way for me to obtain that. You see, we get caught up so much. I don't have enough money to do this. I don't have enough strength to do this. But you ever get up in the morning tired and something excites you to the point that you get up? And then you realize that I'm energetic. It just takes one single thought to move you forward. And if you react to that thought, you will move yourself forward. Have you ever been in a sick bed telling yourself, I can't get up? Come talk to me. And then somebody says something to you and you want to prove to them. No. And you get up. Because you put faith that says, faith without works, lay in bed. That's what it does. You could have as much faith, but if you are not willing to work, to do the things necessary to bring what you see about in your life, you will stay in bed. Have you ever lost a job? No fault of yours. That's a joke. That's a joke. Because wherever you are the central character wherever you are. So whatever is happening to you, by you, for you. I want you to know that. So if you lose your job, there is something about you that needs to be fixed. And the only way it can be fixed is through invoking faith to see a preferred future, because when one door closes sometimes, it is time to realize that you have the power to open millions of other doors. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, how could they do that to me? No, go back and then say, what did I not do, or what do I need to do? Can these bones live again? Hello. Can I live again? Hello now. Can I have happiness in my life again? Can I have joy and fulfillment in my life? Can I walk again? Yes. And as soon as I say yes, something happens. I try. You know, if I never try, I will never begin. But there's something else that we need to do before the work actually begins. We need to believe that we can do it. Jesus said, everything is done based on your belief. If you don't believe you can walk again, you will never walk. If you don't believe that you can see again, you will never see. If you don't believe that you will be rich again, you will never be rich. If you don't believe that you will have a job again, you will never have a job again. You know something about belief? Belief wakes up confidence. Hello? When I believe in myself, I believe I can walk across the ocean to get what I want. I believe I can climb the highest mountain to do what I need to do when I believe. You see, belief is the trigger that causes all the other faculties in you to wake up. I could see it a million times, but if I don't believe in it or believe in myself, can't happen. You see, a lot of us believe in God, but we don't believe in ourselves. You see, when I say I believe in God, I am saying I believe in the power that the universal presence God has given me to act on my behalf to glorify its name. When I do it, I'm saying, thank you, God, for giving me the strength, the power to create, and the power to go beyond all limitation. I'm saying, thank you, God, that I am alive. And to be alive means to be actively engaged in living, to do things, to be things, to become things, and always seeking more. When I'm alive, I want more. I don't settle for what I have. I can't settle, because to settle means what? I become lazy. I stop thinking. I just what? Bask in pleasure. And where there is pleasure, there's going to be war. And wherever there's going to be war, there's going to be a sense of loss. Something is going to be lost. So one of the things I need to do is to keep believing that I have the power to expand and the power to grow and to become more. I can't settle for what I have, because faith always being active in me creates these more pictures. It's like, you plant one tree and you see it grow. And faith kicks in and says, hey, you could have 10 trees. So you plant 10 trees. And then you look around and you find the land that you have is too small for 25 trees. So you go out there and faith says, you see, your neighbor has a plot in the back. Ask your neighbor if you could use that piece of land. And the neighbor says, yes. And you plant more. Hello now. Next thing, the whole neighborhood is yours. You bought them out by selling the crops that come up. That's how faith works. Because life is about increase. The first law in the universe is what? Go forth and multiply. Find increase. Faith is that quality that allows us to go forth, not knowing where we are going. It says in Hebrews 11, when God called Abraham, Abraham didn't know where he was going, but he had one thing in mind. I want to prosper. I see myself prospering. Do you see yourself prospering? Hello now. Yes. Do you see yourself prospering? Because if you don't see it, you can't have it. Because when you see it, the journey begins. As soon as you see it, the journey to nowhere begins. To find something that you don't even know what it looks like, but it will show up. And you will have the feeling, so this is it. This is it. You see, true faith, as the mind opens up, even the valleys that were low are raised. Where you thought there was no possibility, you start to see possibility. So dead ground becomes fertile ground. Hello now. I wanted to be a seed planter, and suddenly I realized this place can't grow seeds, but it has grass. I go out and I buy 2 goats. Sell goat meat. And I discovered that goat meat goes good with curry. I start to grow turmeric. Make curry. The mind expands as faith is quickened. We begin to see things that we never saw before. And the more we believe is the more we begin to do things that we couldn't do before. We find ourselves as carpenters, as masons, of all kind of description, all the skills that we need to do what we need to do come out because they're already within us. Hello now. The ability to prophesy is the ability to say, body, get up. take up this bed and walk. Hello now. It's like the woman with the issue of the blood. For 12 years she had a problem. Life was just oozing out of her. She laid in bed, regretting that life had fallen upon her, regretting everything that she had in life. And for 12 years she laid in her bed, waiting to die. And then one day somebody said to her, there is a man called Jesus. He's from Nazareth. And they're saying all kind of good things about him. In his presence, people are being quickened into newness. Healings are taking place. People are changing their minds, and as they change their minds, their bodies are changing, their circumstances are changing. And she said to herself this particular morning, I am going to get up. I don't know. And as she got up, she saw herself healed. And then she says, it is going to happen today. It is going to happen. She started to believe, not that it was only possible, it was going to happen. It says she took the journey from home. And she had to walk. Remember, an issue of blood causes you to feel what? Weak. I don't know. It's a metaphor for having no hope. Have you ever been without hope in your life?
Yeah.
When things appear so bad that you're just waiting for the ravens to come in. I don't know. I've been there. You ever been into relationships that are stuck so bad you don't want to go home? I don't know. Come on. Say yes.
Yes.
Be a hypocrite now. Huh? You ever been into situations and you're asking yourself, God, why am I still in this?
Yes.
And you have no zeal, you don't want to go home. And when you get home, there's nothing to do because life is exhausted because of all your negative thoughts about the situation. And you're weak. The next morning you get up. Because what's happening at home normally happens at work because you carry yourself there. And the people frustrate you. You see, when things are not happy inside, they can't be happy outside. Because you are the reflection of what's going on inside. Your whole life is a reflection. You're snapping at people, people snapping back at you. And one day, somebody says to you, there's this place that I go to where they tell you that you are responsible for your relationships, for your own health, I don't know, for your own happiness. You are responsible for that. And it shocked you. How could I be responsible when so-and-so is so-and-so and does so-and-so? Because when we talk about the other people and their part in our suffering. My boss is a criminal. I don't know. My spouse or person of significance is a horrible person. Don't you ever think that you are bringing out the horror in them? Where are you when all the horror is taking place? See, you are a saint. And God put you here to suffer. And these people are causing you suffering. And then one day, God will come and take them from you. And you will be left in the world by yourself. You'll have no relationships and you'll be more angry with God than anybody else. No. She didn't blame the condition. She didn't blame anybody. She got up. She said, today is going to be my day. And in a weak state, she walked. Could have been 12 miles. We don't know. And it says, when she got near to where Jesus was, there was a crowd. Whew. And some of us, when we want something and we get there and we find anything that appears difficult, we turn back and go home. I don't know. It's like a guy swimming across the river and reaching halfway, turns back because it's too far to get to the other side. We do that. We put our own obstacles in the way. We make excuses and we put blame of the crowd on the crowd. Too much people. I don't know. What am I going to do? If Spirit tells you to move, Spirit will provide the way for you to receive what you're looking for. In that moment, something happened. And she said, Spirit, talk to me, Spirit. The Spirit says, crouch. Well, you can't go down anymore than you've gone down. I don't know. As she went down, just as she went on the ground, Jesus was passing. And she pushed her hand under the feet and through the legs and touched the garment. And immediately something happened. Woo! Life came back. And she felt strong. And Jesus said, something has happened to me because somebody has touched me. And the disciples say, hey, Jesus, look, there's so much people on there. No, not that kind of touch. Oh, this kind of touch is when you reach inside yourself and touch the hem of your own spiritual self called the Christ within. That's the moment when your belief touches your vision and your vision and belief become one. All things become possible. When you reach in and touch that hem, that little end of your spiritual self, because you have failed at everything and it's just a little piece you need. It says that she was healed and Jesus recognized the healing. Because if you touch the earth has to be also touched by you. Two things happening. Coincidence means two things happening. If you touch something, it must also touch you. One of the beautiful things about this story, it shows us the path that faith takes. It begins in the valley of dry bones. When something in you asks yourself, do I think I could get out of this? Do I believe that I have the power to get out of this? You see, if you don't believe that you have the power to do it, it can't be done. There's another story about a man who sat by a pool for 38 years. You see, he saw himself healed. He positioned himself to be healed, but he did not believe that he could be healed. And he spent 38 years sitting by the pool. Some of us are like that. We know that maybe it could happen. And it says in the story that people said that if you go by this pool, an angel comes down and touches the water, and who gets there first? Superstition. A lot of us operate out of superstition. They say. I don't know. You ever in a situation and they say? We like to follow they say. They say that if you go by the pool and get there first, can you imagine how many hundreds of people by this pool? And you there for 38 years, that means 38 people got healing and you ain't get it yet? Something ain't right. It's time you leave the pool. And instead of spending your life outside of the pool, stay in the pool whole year. The pool represents supply, substance. Stay in God all the time, and you will always be supplied. Don't live outside the pool. Don't camp around the pool. Camp in the pool. Stay in the nature of the Christ within you, and you'll always be fed. It said that Jesus came and he said to the man, will you like to be healed? And the man said yes. And as soon as he said yes, he was healed. As soon as you say yes to your healing, and healing just means correcting what might be wrong with you. First, you correct your mind. If you don't correct your mind by seeing yourself perfect, whole, complete, you could never experience perfection, wholeness, and completeness. Everything begins in mind. If you don't want to release the negative thoughts that you have about yourself and see yourself as God's gift and God's light that is meant to be shining, if you don't see that, Jesus could come, be in Mississauga, the convention center. You could go, you're going to walk away not healed. All healing comes from first recognizing the power within you to heal, and to also see yourself healed, and next to believe that you are healed. If you don't believe that you have it, you cannot have it. If you don't believe that what you see you can have, they can say all sorts of things. And you will follow, there are people who follow people around, right? Right? They watch, listen for the news. They read the papers. And somebody says, well, Ken is coming. Ken is a healer. And Ken will be in Toronto. So they go to Ken and they walk away what? Unhealed. And then somebody says, Benny coming. And they go to Benny. And the music is so good that we get pumped up. We feel this is the day that everything good is going to happen. But we don't believe it. And then they tell us, Benny will be back 3 years, and we have already made up our minds we will go again. We are planning to be healed, but we do not believe. All healing begins first in the mind. When the mind says, I am healed, ways to be healed will come. This is what prophecy does. Prophecy wakes up our mind to the possibility. And sometimes, there's stories where Jesus said, somebody said to Jesus, just speak the word and my servant shall be healed. Speaking the word says to me, I am confident because I will not tell a lie. When you see me, Jesus said, you've seen the Father. When you see me, I am well. I will act well. I will be well. Don't be afraid. You see, some of us say we are well, but we don't believe we are well. I don't know. We are well in the Sunday morning when we get up to come to church. We puff up and huff up, tighten up and zip up. And we try to stay so for the 2 or 3 hours we'll be here. Then we go back home and we fall. We fall down and we get up. We fall down and some stay down. Which one are you? Do you get up and fall again? Do you trip yourself? You see, sometimes we have a healing experience. And then doubt comes in and we start, oh my God, is it there? Is it gone? If you heal, you heal. A healed mind says what? I am perfect, whole, complete. A mind that does not know it's healed says, maybe it will come back. So this is the time of the year when we go telling ourselves it could come back. A 3-letter word called flu. Because this is now flu season. Meaning I expect to get the flu. No. Flu does not exist in my life. No. There's no virus more powerful than the I am Christ in me. It could wipe out anything that I am willing to have wiped out. And somebody will say, well, what about Ebola? Wisdom has told me not to go to West Africa. Wisdom has also told me that if you go and you bring Hugo, I not mess with you and Hugo. That's wisdom. See, faith has to operate with wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us like to dare God. Well, I'm spiritual. I am one of God's chosen. So I could do anything and break any law. They spit in my face and cough at me. I can't get that. And then you lay down. God, how could you do this to me? If you see flu over there, you walk somewhere else. It's called wisdom. It's called understanding that viruses are powerful, invisible forces that could invade. Understand? If you're not feeling too well, stay home. You understand what I'm saying? Don't bring it to the office and celebrate how many gifts you have given for the year. No. Use wisdom. Wisdom, good judgment. And if you love yourself enough to prevent yourself from getting the flu, then love other people enough so they don't get it. See yourself healthy and happy means that you invoke wisdom and understanding and love and intelligence and all the qualities that are in you already. You don't need to import any more qualities. All the qualities of God are already within you. And you must learn to speak the word with confidence. I am. I am wealth. I am health. I am peace. I am joy. That means wherever I am, that's my stance. So when you see me, you see perfection. You see happiness. You see health. I can't be telling you that I am healthy and crawling. No. I've got to wake up Not only to possibility, but to reality that I am what I speak. If I speak the word and not act the word, then I am not authentic. That means I am a what? Full of the word? You don't want to say liar. If I'm speaking truth and acting on truth, there's a what? There's what? Speak, Lord. Carl, what would you say?
There's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect. Helena, there's a war going on. I don't know who I am. I don't know what's going on in my life, and I'm pretending. Any pretentious people here this morning? Pretending that you're okay? Are your relationships good? You just say you're walking around, everything is there, everything is there. Oh, it's good. She's a nice lady, she's good. She's so nice. God, I'll cook you. Disconnect. Hello. You're looking good, you're working good, you're telling everybody how wealthy you are. And then in the night you're begging God. No. Whatever you are, you must become to be authentic. If you prophesy health, you've got to start living like if you're healthy. Hello now. Prophesy wealth. Look good. Smell good. Walk good. Talk good. Do everything from that point forward to prove that you are. If you are telling people who you are and you don't resemble what you are saying you are, you're a liar. Is that right? Why are you afraid to say I'm a liar? You say it about other people. Say it about yourself, I'm a liar. I don't always live what I say I am. It says that faith prevents us from accepting lack as our destiny. Because my mother and father were kind of poor, well, I will remain poor the rest of my life. No. My mother and father were like two modes of transportation that brought me here and dropped me by a station. I could spend the rest of my life at that station, or I could take one train here, one there, one there, one there. The choice is mine. No. Not all of us will go on into riches, but everyone can see themselves being rich and go after it. That's your great mind at work, creating stuff for you to go forth and do. Prophecy is predicting the future under divine guidance. And this is so big. The question is, how big is your God? When you use the word God, how big is that idea? Is God really infinite? Or God still is that stingy judge that looks down upon you and judges you for everything that you do? No. My God does not judge. My God is like the God of the prodigal son. No matter what I do, accepts me the way I am and gives to me more that I could go forth and explore with. That's my God. So my God is a God of infinite possibility. And the more I stretch God, is the more God could stretch. God is not plastic that goes this way and come back. God is like elastic. So fantastic. Huh? That's my God. And whatever I call on God to do, God will do for me. That's my God. God is not limited to now. My God is eternal. So wherever I walk from henceforth, my God is there always, wanting me to express more of itself. The bigness of my God, my idea of God, will determine my capacity to entertain and experience God. Isn't that fantastic? What limitations have you placed on God? Can God make these bones live again? Can your God rebuild your life? Hello now. Can God entertain all of you? Yes, my God can. Because my God is a good God. Not a God that looks down at me with scorn and judgment, but one that looks down with me with love. Realizing that I have free will to go forth and do the thing. And sometimes I need to put myself in trouble to come to realize with God I could never be in trouble. I could experience trouble, but I don't have to stay in it. You know, over the past few months, I've been doing an exercise on forgiveness. And as I travel back to my life, I keep hearing one statement. Forgive me my debts. Forgive me my debts. My debts are the stuff that I have not released about myself. Because sometimes these thoughts we have of ourselves that come from the past, and most of them come from our childhood. They said things about us that we believed to be true, and we still act out of those as if they are true their lives. And I find myself laughing and telling myself how silly I was to believe that. And allow that to motivate my living over a long part of my life. And how I need to release that debt. You don't have any debt that you need to release. Thoughts about yourself that are limiting you from moving out. You know, the thoughts that you think about yourself attract the people in your life? Did you realize that the people in your life come from that place of who you think you are? If you think you're not good enough, you will not attract the good people that you need in your life. Think about it. And sometimes in our past, we attracted all kind of weirdos. Hello. It's time to wake up to realize that you live in a sea of possibility and infinite potential, that the best is yet to come, and you could prophesy it, and you could see it coming to you, that you are not stuck with the people that you have in your life. You're not stuck with your work circumstances. You're not stuck with unhappiness. You could make these bones come alive. Hello now. That you have the power to say to these bones, walk again. You have the power to say to these bones, attract flesh, good flesh. Not the flesh that has caused me to be dry bones, but new flesh. You have the power to attract the right conditions to you to cause you to want to go forth and be happy. Because the end result in life is to be happy. If you're not happy, ain't nobody's fault. It's your power to attract the conditions, the experiences, and the people in your life. You need to bring back this power. All power is given unto me, Jesus said, in heaven and on earth. Meaning mentally and in the stage of manifestation. I have the power to change what is in my life. I have the power to change the mental thoughts that go through my life, that attract the things in my life, that become the things in my life. I have the power to change and to have a new life, because I see a new heaven, a new earth. Everything of the past is past, and I can live again. Son of man, can your life begin again? It's up to you. Son of man, daughter of man. Hello now. Can you live again? Can you be prosperous? Can you be healthy? Can you be happy again? That's a question. Just take a moment, be in silence. Just take a moment. Ask yourself, can these bones live again? Can I find peace and joy and happiness? Can I find health and wholeness? Can I find what my dream says I should find? At the end of the day, can I rest and say, it is well, it is well, it is well with my soul? Can I say, it is finished, that the work that I had to do on myself is finished, and now I could bask in this state of peace and joy called the kingdom of heaven? Can I do that? Can I tell my mind, away with all negation? Can I tell my mind, wake up, so that I could see? I don't want to live in this nightmare anymore. I want to live in peace and joy. Can you tell your mind that? Can you tell yourself that you are hopeful of a brighter tomorrow? That when I look in the far distance, all I can see is sunshine, a blaze. No more dark clouds. I can see clearly now. Here, the rain is gone. All the dark clouds are gone. Hello? I can see clearly now. And I want to live from this vantage point. I don't want any more trouble in my life. I just want to enjoy life. Can you tell yourself that? Hello now. Come on, it's up to you. If you want it, you gotta say it, believe it, see it, and do it. It's not gonna happen unless you are the central figure in your life. Because everything that is happening in your life came out of your imagination. Hello now. You are the one that said yes. Would you marry me? Yes. You took the ring. Is it a ring around the roses or a ring of fire? Hello now. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello now. Did you take the ring because you were desperate? Did you look at the years past and the years to come and say this is the right time? Hello. You could live again. It doesn't matter where you are. You can change your circumstance by prophesying, seeing yourself in a better situation. Believe that you can get there and let your mind, through the creative will in it, take you there. I'll take you there. Come on. I'll take you there. Yes. I see a place. Come on. Take yourself. Wake up yourself. Come on. And take me there. Come on. Wake up yourself. Come on. I'll take me there. Yeah.
Ain't nobody crying. Ain't nobody worried. Ain't no smiling faces. Oh, no. Lying to the races. Let's go from the top. I know a place.
Come on.
Ain't nobody crying now.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody worried. Have smiling faces now. Lying to the races.
Come on.
Let me hear you say, take me there. I'll take you there. Let me hear you say, take me there. Hey, I'll take you there. I want you to hear me say, take me there. Hey, tell me where you gonna take me now. I don't believe you. Will you take me there? Let's go from the top. I know a place. Ain't nobody crying now. Ain't nobody worrying now. I see your smiling faces. Lying to the races. Let me hear you. I want you to take me there now. I want you to take me there. Let me hear you say, take me there. Take me there. That's really all I got for you. I don't know any other words. Gonna be honest with you. Yeah. Now we'll do the actual song we're gonna do. You'll know this one, so feel free to join us as well, okay? Let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich. Let the blind say I can see. It's what the Lord has done for me. Let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich. Let the blind say I can see. It's what the Lord has done in me. Hosanna, Hosanna, I will find God's love within. Hosanna, Hosanna, Christ in me will rise again. Hosanna, Hosanna, I will find God's love within. Hosanna, Hosanna, Christ in me will rise again.
Into the river I will lead. There my sins are washed away. Flowing through me I can feel the Creator's love for me.
I will rise from waters deep with the love of God in me. I will sing salvation songs. Christ within has set me free. Hosanna, Hosanna, I will find God's love within. Hosanna, Hosanna, Christ in me will rise again. Hosanna, Hosanna, I will find God's love within. Hosanna, Hosanna, Christ in me will rise again. Let the weak say I am strong.
Let the poor say I am rich.
Let the blind say I can see. It's what the Lord has done in me.
Speak the word. My body, which is my servant, shall be healed. Speak the word. That's all you need to do. Because you have the power to transform your entire life, the experiences, and whatever comes up in your life. If you have faith to see a preferred future, if you keep your mind stayed on that future, and let every word of your mouth, let every act and reaction that you make be in that path, you will get there. For all those who have been streaming, we have come to the end of this session of streaming. If you would like to make a donation, you may do so via PayPal or via credit card or debit. You can also online visit our bookstore, and you can also check the news that is happening around here. Again, thank you, and this concludes this presentation. We have on November 19th 2 sessions of a seminar called Forgive and Live. Begins at 10:30 in the morning and also 6:30 in the evening. We'd like you to come. I think forgiveness is a theme on my mind, and it should be on your mind. Until you forgive, you cannot successfully live. I need to forgive that candy so that I can live again. So remember that, the 2 dates, the 19th and the 26th, in the morning at 10 o'clock and in the evening at 6:30. We'd like you all to come again. It will help you make a lot of changes in your life. Forgive and live. This is also a time when we are planning for the end of the year. We will have a candlelighting service on the 24th, and we are planning to have, like we tried last year, a celebration at the end of the year on the 31st, where you could come, if you don't have anywhere to go, make a party in the back and enjoy yourself. Would you like that?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Would you like that?
Yeah.
Or would you come?
Yes.
If you'll come and give your name to Jean, and Jean will fix you up with what you should bring us. We're going to make it, is it called Dutch? We go Dutch, you bring whatever you want. We'll try and provide the main ingredient, which is a turkey for you. And then you go from there. Whatever you like to do, you can do that. So I think that's the end of the announcement. What else we have? On the 31st, we have that service, right? We have a sunrise service, beginning at what time?
6:45
But I
a.m.
think the sun is rising at 7.
So it's prior to the,
Okay, I'm just saying, because,
it's the World Peace Meditation.
all right, so come for 6:45. And then our burning bowl service is on is the 4th? The 4th. Is it the 4th?
Yeah.
It's the first Sunday in January. That's a good time to come, and we will extend that whole process of eliminating whatever we need to eliminate to help us go forth in life. This is the time when we want to give a love offering. Sometimes,